Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Will the Stevenson vs Davis fight happen? What did Shakur say? The two American boxing stars could meet inside the ring at the end of 2024. What did Shakur say? After Davis' brilliant victory over Frank Martin in June, a flurry of names came out as possible opponents for Gervonta. Considering that and the fact that Devin Haney does not seem very interested in taking on Davis soon, Shakur Stevenson was the immediate fighter seen as a possible rival for the Baltimore native. What did Stevenson say about a potential fight with Davis? It was recently reported that the mega fight between the two undefeated fighters was a done deal by a popular YouTube channel, reporting that a unification match between him and Davis would take place on November 23rd. Shakur, 27, quickly shut down that information, considering it fake. However, the New York-bred boxer did not clarify if he is negotiating with Gervonta to make the fight happen. "This is a fake," said Stevenson on social media, reacting to a social media report. If the Davis fight does not happen, quite a few names would be interested in taking on the all-around fighter. One of them is William Zepeda, an undefeated Mexican fighter who could put Stevenson into trouble and would likely attract the fans' attention. Negotiations between both men seem to be close to being a done deal. Gervonta Davis' likely next opponent, named by Eddie Hearn, and it's not Shakur Stevenson. Gervonta Davis is looking for a dance partner after handing Frank Martin the first loss of his career, with fans demanding activity and Gervonta as popular as ever. His team looked to build on the momentum by entering talks to put their WBA lightweight world title on the line. In a clip shared by Mill City boxing promoter Eddie Hearn, who is in the race to sign Stevenson, said he guesses Gervonta will rematch one Isaac Cross next. "Yeah, I think if the deal's not right and he is not really up for IBF title holder, leave it, so he's decided to leave it. It's going to be interesting to see what Gervonta does next. I guess he will fight the winner of Pitbull Cross against Rayo this Saturday, but we will see." Pitbull Cross is only one of two men to take Davis the distance. The fight back in 2021 was a unanimous decision win for the Baltimore puncher to keep hold of his WBA regular lightweight title. Cruz, who has since moved up to super lightweight and won the WBA belt there, was the first man to go 12 with Gervonta in 7 years and has long since called for their rematch. This weekend in Los Angeles, he faces a tough test in Jose Valenzuela, the range 25-year-old southpaw who looks to hold Cross in his tracks and take the belt in his debut at 140. Shakur Stevenson talks Gervonta Davis and clarifies promotional status. Shakur Stevenson is a great interview. The 27-year-old WBC champ wears his heart on his sleeve, wants to be great, and loves his craft. Combine that with his all-world skills in the ring, and you will have a pretty intriguing presence in boxing. Stevenson was in Los Angeles for Saturday's colossal card, featuring his mentor and friend Terence Crawford, who is willing to win a world title in his 4th-weight class. While in LA, Stevenson was interviewed by Boxing News, and the promotional free agent discussed a number of topics. Here is a look at the entire interview. In addition to giving his prediction for the upcoming fight Arthur Beterbiev vs Dmitry Bivol, Shakur reaffirmed his desire and assurance that he would eventually square off with Gervonta Davis. When Stevenson was asked about potentially signing with Matchroom and Eddie Hearn, the former clarified that he had yet to decide on the promoter he would sign with the next. There were rumors that Stevenson had reached an agreement with undefeated Golden Boy fighter William Zepeda, but the latter's promoter Oscar De La Hoya called that report fake news, and Stevenson wouldn't confirming anything on his side. Zepeda would be an excellent opponent for Shakur at this career stage. The former is a legitimate threat. He is 28 years old and has 27 KO wins in his 31 professional fights. Zepeda is a punishing body puncher with a calm forward style and an excellent gas tank. Stevenson would have a speed advantage, which could be enough, but there is no questioning the respect he would earn if he defeated Zepeda. Stevenson's contract with the top rank ended following his July unanimous decision win over Artem Arutyunyan, despite criticism from many in the boxing community, who called the performance boring. There was an immediate rush to sign Stevenson, with Matchroom and Golden Boy seemingly throwing their hats in the ring. Even Top Rank was not ruled out in a potential reunion. Stevenson could also elect to go independent, as his big brother Terence Crawford has done, potentially aligning the younger brother with Turki Al-Sheikh and Riyadh season. November 23 is a crucial date, as that's when Davis was initially scheduled to face IBF champ. With the latter electing to take the rest of the year off, Davis needs an opponent, which could be Stevenson. The next news we got on either man's future will test us something about the other's next move. Are you up for a tank? December ideal for Isaac Cruz rematch. It will be 3 years ago in December when Isaac Cruz stepped in with little more than a month's notice to accept the biggest fight of his life against now 3-division champion Gervonta Davis, and then took him the distance in a Rocky-esque storyline. Should the new World Boxing Association junior welterweight title holder defeat his challenger Jose Valenzuela on Saturday night at BMO Stadium in Los Angeles, the stars may be aligning for a December anniversary rematch with the WBA lightweight belt holder Davis. Early this month, Baltimore's Davis learned negotiations with his fellow 3-division champion. The IBF lightweight titleist had come to little with saying he need to rest. On Tuesday, the sole manager for the 3-division and WBC lightweight title holder Shakur Stevenson told that Davis' representatives have not been responsive to negotiating a deal for a unification bout. Stevenson has verbally agreed to pursue a fight against consensus #1 lightweight contender William Zepeda of Mexico. Pittsburgh's open for December. Cruz's advisor Sean Gibbons said that the fighters granted rival on the Santa Monica Pier, so why not do it again? He is up for it any day of the year. Are you up for it one day? We have no problem here. Cruz's popularity has surged since the first fight, which Davis won by scores of 113, 113, 115, 113, and 116, 112, after entering the bout on the heels of knockout victories over Cuba's Yuriorkis Gamboa, 4-division champion Leo Santa Cruz, and reigning WBC welterweight title holder Mario Barrios. Since then, Cruz has recorded 3 stoppages in his past 4 fights, including his rousing finish in March of the then 140-pound title holder Rolly Romero in Las Vegas. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.